We are going. We're gone. Okay.
We've gone.
Okay, we are starting this. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm just trying to play happy together again. So happy.
No. Okay,
Go
hi
ahead.
everyone.
Oh, I got a message from Apurva coming.
Wow. Perfect.
Okay, right on time. Right on time.
Right on time.
What's up, girls?
Start.
Good morning, good evening, good
Yeah,
afternoon.
I was just going to say this. I always had this confusion. Like, I know there is a lag, but I don't know if like what we're doing now is already going live.
It is
It's going
live.
live.
We are live.
Hi guys, it's my YouTube's debut.
People of the internet can hear us.
People of the
Go
internet,
on.
women have spoken.
We're on YouTube. No, actually, no. Anupriya has gone live. Apurva has also gone live. I haven't gone live. I'm also
I've
YouTube live.
I have tried. I've tried. I never made it. Somehow, like YouTube's always like not today with me.
Not
Aaj ho gaya.
today.
Acha, हाँ, we tried. We tried for.
We tried?
Yeah, we tried.
YouTube's
Aaj ho
always.
gaya.
हम लाइव हैं. सुनिधि को स्टार्ट करने देते हैं.
Sunidhi can't see you. Can you? I can't see her.
I can't see her either.
It's fine.
I
It's
think she's-
expected. It's expected. Some or the other issue has to happen, right? With us. I mean,
TPP has a long history of technical errors.
yeah.
Could be not. Never have I ever. Never have we ever not have had
Correct.
Technical issues.
Correct. Right.
Needhi left. I think it's a Needhi's way of saying not moderating you guys today.
It's okay. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I think these 7-8 weeks have prepared us for today to not get worried about things like this. Everything will work out.
Yep.
Mimi,
Eventually.
Apurva joy.
Hello.
Apurva looks like it's 6
I'm so
a.m.
sorry.
It is 6:43 a.m.
I kid you not, and then yeah, I kept sleeping.
Why can't I see you? Oh, there we go. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, now we have to wait for Miss Moderator to come back.
For what?
Finally.
Dropped out
She's
of the
here.
call. Okay.
She's here. Finally.
Internet can never be my best friend for the third time. This is what I was saying. I mean, my first live got deleted. My second live is not there. People are like, you're just pretending to be a part of TPP. You're actually not a part of it. It is all in your head.
No. Today we will prove it that you are and that you control all of us.
You're not supposed to. Okay.
You know, we're kind of loud mouths here.
Apurva is here.
Apurva.
Hi. I'm so
That
sorry.
is what I was about to say. That was my
I thought you guys started.
Yeah, but
We did.
and then my
I
internet
like.
just flagged up.
I know it doesn't feel like it, but we're live.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All of our confusion is live now.
Yep.
This is as real as it gets, guys. This is as organic and real.
TPP unfiltered.
All right. So have you already done greetings?
Chop,
Have
chop.
you already flagged
We
that
haven't.
joke?
We haven't. We were
Morning,
waiting
good
for you.
night, good
No, we
evening.
were waiting for you. We're polite, okay?
Thanks.
Also, you control us. We can't do it without you.
Why is that repeating? It just the punchline dies after using it. Okay.
Everyone
So-
still laughed.
This is how
I'm
we
sorry,
like.
sorry.
We believe in
Go on.
supporting
Go.
each other. Yeah, right. So, like, hi, good morning, good evening. I don't know, good afternoon. for
Radhe
everyone. I
Shabbat
think
hai.
it's an ungodly hour for all of us because it's way past my bedtime. It's too early for 3 people here, and subha, like afternoon is when you can never get subha. So it's like we are on a very level field here, which is a great thing. to start off with. But talking about starting of things, let's talk about how this started and how we all got together. So I think whoever wants to talk more about that, I'm just the moderator here, so I get to control everybody today.
You're the moderator.
I think Subha should start since she brought us all together.
I think Subha is a good person to answer this question.
But no, I mean, I know all of you from different spheres of life and overachieved women. There's nothing like overachieving, but like super successful, super bold women, all of you are. And I know Sunidhi from high school. I know Anupriya also from the same time. I know from college. And it was just like, so knowing Anupriya and Sunidhi from before, I already know what all they've been doing. Anupriya has been on YouTube, trying different things, Instagram all the time. Sunidhi is one meticulous, I want to say ass, but I won't. But Apurva is my roommate. I don't know how, like she's like late for 6 o'clock, but usually she's one of those people who are like always with a book sitting on her messy table trying to study. And Akriti, I've started following her actually she's one of my really closest friends' friend first. And she always kept saying ki, oh, Akriti to college maybe is like very like involved in everything, super active. She's this, like, and Akriti herself, like she has done a lot, scholarship, this, that, always going to get PhD before 25 and whatnot. And so it just felt like a life thing, like bringing everyone together, and I knew that everybody else would any day benefit from knowing all of you.
And you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, although I know Subha from high school, we actually met when we were in the 3rd standard, and we figured it out because I met Anupriya, and a friend of hers used to live in the same society that we were in, and that's how we figured out that we were going to the same keyboard classes. And that's like the world is so small. Like I did not know Apurva and Akriti before this, and now I just feel like I'm a part of their life, and like I'm including
you are you know, like saying the world is so small, like actually works for us, because literally we're making this work from like 4 different time zones. I'm very surprised that we make it work. To chalo theek hai, like, you know, like it's a lot of social media stuff and we do it at our own times, but like the fact that we're able to take out time for us like every single week and do this
it's amazing.
It's still mind blowing to me how it works.
We're entering our 4th month, you know.
Yep.
It's since the first started.
Yes,
when we first introduced the idea of like a webinar, and like this is where we are today.
Right. Yeah.
We're really far from the starting line.
Yeah. But I think it's the direction where it's going, it's great, and we should talk about it more towards the end. But before we go into that space, let's start off with a few other things that we've, I think it would be good to have that personal connect with everybody who kind of have taken out the time to look at our page and like follow us so far, and hopefully will continue to follow us as well, so that they can see it's the kind of experiences we've had, or like just, whatever we have to offer, more on those lines. And since I'm the moderator and I'm controlling things today, I have a game that we'll be doing before every question, so that we try and avoid talking over each other, which is going to be a thing for sure. But I think we're pretty much in sync. So how about I say the question, whoever answers it the last will have to go first. Simple rules.
God, I'm not even awake yet. This is not fair.
I'm mentally asleep.
I'll just go first, essay. Like, I'll just be like, okay, fine, I'll go first.
I think Subha will give you a close on this, close call, because this is Subha's inactive
hours. I can't. I'm not like spontaneous. Okay, let's do it.
And obviously,
let's
I'm not
do
a part of this game because I'm the moderator, and
Oh,
like I always
please.
know the questions.
That
Me
wasn't
neither.
the point of making you the
See,
moderator.
that's why Apurva, you should never put responsibility
Oh,
on someone else. I'll
man.
exploit them.
No.
All right,
We'll
I'm
end
ready.
up making Sunidhi go last.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Then she'll keep having to go first.
Yes, no, I'm going last for all the questions. It's a default.
And then
Sure.
you'll go first also for each question because whoever goes last goes first, you said. Right.
Haha.
What? My brain.
Caught in your own loophole.
All right, guys, there are so many
Okay.
gurus on
Zen.
no. Okay, first question is, can everybody hear me? Is everyone ready?
Yes.
I've opened the drum roll sound on. Drrrn. Okay.
You can just, yeah, manually do it. Name a city that starts with A.
Ahmedabad.
Athens.
Amsterdam.
Apurva, you're going next.
Oh, oh, it was like buzzer. I see, I see. Okay, I get this. I thought she was gonna
Okay,
call out name. Okay,
you're
I'm
going first.
It's too
sorry. I'm
early for
totally
her
sorry.
also.
Too
I
early.
didn't get the point of this. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
It's too
Okay,
It's
you're
one
early.
of
going
the
first.
Instagram filter things.
Is it?
Name three things with like. Have you
Wow,
seen that filter?
no,
At least
I'm
one
out.
of you should know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
I know.
Alphabet
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the name place thing or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember.
I've seen that.
Okay, cool.
This was kind of my original idea till this point, but okay. Never mind. People have done this before. Uh,
I'm
once,
sorry to burst your bubble.
once you're done answering, you just pass on to the person you want to want who should answer this question, basically. So
I'm
the
the
first
bad.
thing that, huh?
Stick to the
Do we want to do it like that, or do we want to just say? Do we want
No,
to just?
it's
No, this is
perfect.
Fine.
good.
It'll be fine.
Okay. First question is a little bit more about your two truths and one lie. So just tell us more about those three statements that
Oh,
you
okay.
had there.
Okay, that should be
Remember
easy. I
them.
don't mind going first. Let's
Where's the
do
most
this.
Okay.
one, I think, in that?
So let me try to think about what I put in, right? There was I met Sachin Tendulkar, which was a truth. I am
Yeah.
colorblind, which is false. I do I do call the orange light red sometimes, but I'm not colorblind.
That's a
And the
different kind
third thing
of color
was
blindness.
what?
That's a different kind of color blindness.
Right, but that's how far my colorblindness goes. And the third thing was I drowned a lizard in a bathtub once, which was also unfortunately a truth. Anybody who hates me, it's totally justified. So I did meet Sachin Tendulkar when he was in Hyderabad for IPL once. There's somebody I know who is pretty big in the cricket scene, and um, the team was staying at ITC Grand Kakatiya back then, and we had gone specifically to meet Sachin Tendulkar to his room, and there were like two bodyguards manning his room outside, and they're like, "Who are you guys?" They're like, "We are here to meet him," and he wouldn't believe us. Then we had to like call him or something, and then he let us in. And I think he was running like 15 minutes late, and he actually texted our point of contact saying, like, "Hey, I'm in the gym. Could you guys? I'm running like 15 minutes late." It was really special.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I think after we met him, we went down to the lobby for ice cream, and then we met like BVS Lucknow on the way, and then Adam Gilchrist, then Scott Styrus, I think. And when we were leaving, I saw Shahid Afridi.
Wow.
So it was a pretty fun day. Um, and the lizard story was
I want to know this story.
The
when I
one
went
everybody.
to I know everybody's waiting for it. And surprisingly, nobody was surprised that I had done this. Like everyone's like, yeah.
I
I
had
was like,
expected this.
wow.
You're colorblind. I thought there are higher chances of you being colorblind than drowning a lizard.
No,
Yeah.
I did stoop that low. So this was at Miami last year at Grace House actually when I met Akriti that night. Like this happened that same morning. And I checked into my hotel room and I go to my washroom I go to the bathroom for a bath. and then it's there. It's right there. That lizard is right there. And I'm like terrified of like anything that crawls, flies, or jumps, okay? Which is not a human or a bird.
Everything.
Birds also maybe I'm a little afraid if they get too aggressive, but anything that crawls and flies for sure. Like that's not gonna work for me. So then yeah, like it was in the bathtub. So I'm like, how do I get rid of this? I'm like, just turn on the water, right? So just filled the bathtub up till um it drowned, took it in a cup and then threw it outside.
Akriti, how do you feel you met a murderer that day?
Yeah,
That's what I was just thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking, that she met me and she did it. Right. It says something about me. Like I'm judging myself right now.
like I was like, oh, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick
Actually,
of
that's how Apurva and I met. We met at we went for Grace Hopper last year, and the same common friend who introduced me and Subha in college introduced actually me and Apurva. So it was her birthday eve, and then we went out for drinks and dinner together, and we basically chilled a lot. And there was
Yeah,
this
it was a
weird
fun
ride
evening.
at one point of time in the night,
in the
which I
process.
didn't go for. It was the thing that goes up and up and up like
Oh
this.
Yeah,
no.
that was
And
Yeah.
amazing.
Apurva went.
I'm all for those rides. I
No,
just
but
need
okay,
to
no,
like let. Hmm?
I have a question for you here. Were you in a hotel where this happened? You were in Miami, you said?
Actually, yeah. I
You
mean,
could call someone out and be like, there is a lizard in my bathroom.
That
mm-mm.
would be too
I had
fancy.
just checked in, okay? I had just checked in, and I'm like, what if that lizard just like vanishes into some wall crack before somebody arrives? Then I'm
Yeah.
gonna live there the
Yeah.
next 3 days knowing that a lizard could like crawl into my mouth or something, right?
Oh
I'm like,
no.
I need to get rid of this right now.
Now I have images in my head every time I see a lizard, which thankfully I don't see a lot of here. I'm going to think it's going to crawl into my mouth.
But
So I have to do something
this is
about it.
the weird thing. Like there was this time we had gone on a trek with my family, and then I saw like a regular garden snake, and that's it. I'm like, I'm not doing this trek. Then we went to tea gardens once, to all the way to like Munnar to see tea gardens. Then my sister got a leech on her foot. I'm like,
Oh
I'm
no.
not coming inside those tea gardens. Then every morning in high school, I used to wake up really early to study, and sometimes there used to be a bee uh, where I was studying, and I used to make sure that dad woke up and he like killed the bee before I started studying. I'm like, I'm not living in this environment. So it's just a weird thing. I don't know what comes over me. But anyway, that's my story.
Insect love.
Insects are not for me, for sure. So now do I get to nominate a person who needs to go next?
Mm.
I like that, having that kind of power.
Kind of power.
Okay.
Think about
I
Sweetie right now.
nominate. I nominate Anupriya.
Why did I see that coming? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I had to ask Sam what my two truths and a lie were because I forgot.
Even I forgot. I opened the app.
Oh.
Yeah, I
opened
made the
it to,
notes
like,
beforehand.
I opened our stories because I was like, oh shit, I
I'm
don't
not
remember
the
what
only
they were.
one.
This is why we are able to
But
do
yeah.
this.
Yes, we're too
Yeah, right.
similar.
So my lie was that I got double promoted when I was in the first grade because of an administrative error. I mean, it would have been really cool. Didn't happen though. I was surprised how many people thought it was true though. My truths, however, are sad because one is that I love Japanese food, but I am not a fan of sushi at all. Like I'm all for ramen. I love ramen, but sushi, just like keep it away from me. And like my fiance loves sushi to the point where, pardon me.
Oh, there's echo.
Oh, why am I hearing my?
Does someone have YouTube on?
My truths, however,
I
are
do.
sad
I just
because one is that I love Japanese food, but I'm not a fan of sushi. What's happening?
Apurva, close the YouTube
Or like
tab.
mute,
Hey, I can't
mute
hear
the
it anymore.
YouTube. Mute the YouTube.
I can still hear it. Okay, now mind.
Okay, perfect.
So,
I can hear Anupriya. That's too
So,
soon for deja vu.
and a lot of people are surprised by the fact that And that's stupid, and I know it. Like, it's very stereotypical to think that just because I'm Bengali, I'm going to be a fan of fish. I do not like fish at all. I hate it. But there's a fun story about it. When I was younger, I loved fish to the point where when my parents used to go to the fish market to get some, I used to follow them around and then sniff fish. So they used to call me like,
Sorry.
so
What
imagine,
kind of people are we with? What is sniffing fishes?
so imagine a 5-year-old me with like 2 tiny pigtails running around a fish market and sniffing fish. That was me.
I
But
dread
that
going to the fish
I
market.
think that is the PTSD you have and you can't have fish anymore.
Yes,
pretty
because
much,
fish
yeah.
markets stink.
Yeah, this thing, but I used to love that scent. That's the whole problem. I did a complete 180 once I turned 8 or something.
It's
And my
very
mom's
similar to my
theory is,
story.
my mom's theory is that so earlier when you're younger, sometimes your parents feed you, right? So
Yeah.
especially because fishes have bones and shit, my mom used to be really nice and pick it all out and then feed it to me. So her theory is I'm just lazy, and when the time came for me to do it myself, I stopped. I was like, okay, that's enough fish for me. Thank you so much.
So have you
But it's the
tasted
same
fish
reason
after?
for me too. I told you, right? I don't like sushi for some reason. I really don't. And for fish also, my dad always takes out the bones. Otherwise, I
Right.
can't eat it. Even today.
Spoiled children.
Me too.
Privilege.
Every time that like I get a fish, I'll like look for my dad and be like, Dad.
But sushi doesn't have
There you go, do your
bones.
job.
No,
Now
sushi I don't
Sushi
like
has
altogether.
bones.
Now fish
Sushi
stresses
is
me
raw.
out, so
I
I
don't
can't
like
even
it.
eat it in a sushi form. So I'm like,
हाँ
okay,
पर
never mind,
sushi
thank
doesn't
you.
have haddi.
Yeah, अब
Not
हड्डी
just
की वजह से है ही नहीं, अब हो
Raw
गया, अब
fish.
नहीं पसंद.
it's just
I'm
too
like, okay,
raw.
दूर से नमस्कार, bye. Yeah, dude, like I see people eat tartars and sashimis, and I'm like, wow, I can't do that. I can't.
Even I
It's
can't.
too raw for me. Yeah.
Sashimi I like.
Is
Sushi,
it
I don't
okay?
know what's wrong with sushi.
I mean, going off of this question, do you guys think your tastes, not just when it comes to food, have changed from when you were a kid to now? And do you think there's some stigma you still hold about something that you didn't like as a kid and haven't gone back to as an adult? So at this point, you don't know if you might like it.
I feel like my 2 truths and a lie were about food. I have both of these
Mine
questions
too.
answered. I have both of these questions answered.
Okay, cool.
Now I feel like my life revolves around food.
No, but that's true, dude. Like a
I
lot of the
second you
things
on that.
I would never eat back home. I started kind of cooking on my own here, and
Mhm.
I am surprised at how much I like these things. Like my
Right?
kabhi,
Yeah.
I never ate brinjal, but now I'm like, it's not that bad.
Okay, do
Yeah.
chutki.
I think that
I
happened for
can't
me with
chutki,
sushi.
dude. I can't freaking chutki. I've been trying for
Can you
25
do
years.
it? Wow, how do we get distracted? this is a
But
live.
this was her
Chutki
truth.
is one of my
This
truths.
was her
Yeah.
truth.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't
I have
chutki.
I have
I've been
everyone's open. That's why.
trying to do
I'm
it.
not trying
Just
at all.
doesn't work. See, I do all fingers.
Practice.
Nothing
Yeah.
comes. 25
You
years
can't
I've been
use all
practicing.
fingers. It's like you're doing this. You can't use all fingers. She's like,
I can't even do normal ones, dude. Like, look, nothing's happening. Anyway, so when I was younger, this used to frustrate me a lot to the point where anyone, if they snapped around me, I used to get genuinely pissed off and not talk to them.
FOMO.
But I've grown out of it.
I can't whistle. If it makes you
Doesn't
feel
like
better.
it.
I can't whistle.
But it's like my own body is betraying me. Normal human things I can't do.
Stop showing off, Subha. What?
Tapori.
चुटकी बोला चुटकी बजा के दिखा रही है, whistle करके दिखा रही है.
I like all tapori traits.
Okay, now I'm gonna nominate Miss Moderator. Go ahead, take the stage.
I saw that coming. Okay.
Good
First
job.
of all,
Good job.
let me just say this. I was hoping that Apurva wears green because there's
Yeah.
so much Olympic rings right now.
To
Guys.
complete the color.
Olympic ring.
Yeah.
Olympic ring.
Okay, second of all, my 2 truths and 1 lie. Surprisingly, I think a lot of people did get mine right. I'm not sure what was the stat, but yeah. So a lot of people thought that I wouldn't have gotten 17 rejections. I think I've understated them, but I think grad roles here, most of the places require permanent residency. And even after knowing that, I was persistent enough to apply because I was like, I've got good grades. You should hire me. But it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So I've included those rejections where I knew I'm going to get rejected. But I applied anyway. Optimism at its best. So that was that. That was a truth. And then I've had near-death experience. I've had it twice actually, because I was just talking to my sister and I was like, "Are you okay if I share this? Because it's related to." It's funny now, but it wasn't funny back then. I was very, really, really little. So I'll say the funny one first. Actually, I should have sent the serious one first. What do you think?
Huh.
Serious,
Start the
serious
serious
one
one
first.
first, so we can end on
Okay.
a nice note. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I like to keep it like that. So the serious one was last year. Like I'd gone on a trip with a bunch of friends, and I was driving, and it was like a it was it was a road which is like the what do you call them? I don't even remember what you call them anymore. Uh, off track
Off-roading.
off-roading. That's the word. Thank you. But yeah, so I was off, like it was a track that was not leveled and stuff like that. So yeah, I had a car accident, which was pretty bad. And yeah, things got really serious, but it's okay. I'm alive. And nothing happened to anybody. Everybody was touch wood. Everybody was fine. So all good with that. Yeah, I yeah, that's where I want to stop this. But okay, next
Intense.
experience was, which was pretty funny now, is my sister kept me in the fridge and she yeah I
I
was
know this story.
she put me in the fridge and she was like, yeah, go have fun, sit there. I'm sitting there very chilling, like, yeah, cool. And she closed
Literally
the
chilling.
yeah. And then my mom was
Literally.
around only, so she was like, where did she go? And she was like, yeah, she must be here somewhere. And she opens the fridge and I was sitting inside chilling.
Oh my god.
It wasn't
How
it
tiny
wasn't for
were
long.
you?
I was quite tiny. Like I could like talk, but like I think I was 1 or 2. I don't know. I 1.5 ish,
I
but I was
don't
like
think I
the
would
fridge was pretty
fit in a
big.
fridge even at 2 years old. Not
You were
sure.
what?
I don't think
Yeah.
I would fit in a fridge even at
I did. But so my dad works in diagnostics, so we had this huge fridge in which he would keep the kits and everything, and
Oh
oh.
my god.
yeah, so it was like a deep freezer situation. But it was fun. But now we talk about it, it's fun. But back then it was not fun for her, definitely, because she got
Frozen
so
to
much
death.
fun. But yeah, that's the two truths. And the third statement, which was a lie, was I can't speak 3 languages fluently. I'm a pseudo everything apart from English, Hindi. I don't speak any other language. So I know every other language, like bits and pieces of it or whatever, like, picking up Punjabi from Punjabi songs, picking up Bengali from Anupriya and other people who I know who are Bengali. That's me. All right, enough. That's it. I pass it on to not Apurva, Akriti. Because she's my
Hey,
Murder.
I didn't remember mine, so I had to open them up. Kahan gaya? Aa gaya. Okay. So my 3 statements were: I love coconut water, chutney, macaroons. I like Hong Kong more than I like Seattle, and I'm allergic to cashew nuts. Everyone said I'm allergic to cashew nuts because for some reason everyone thinks Indians can't be allergic to anything because growing up we don't have the concept of allergies. पेट खराब हो गया बेटा कोई बात नहीं खा लो
I
कोई बात
agree
नहीं
with
बेटा खा लो
you.
which is fine. So this is where Apurva's question like ties in about growing up and our tastes changing and all of those things. I hated cashew nuts growing up. I could not. Like I in general can't eat nuts. Like I hate them to the fact that I can't eat them in anything. So, all desserts, halwa. So if my mom would make halwa, she would put some on the side for me before she put in the raisins and cashews
Oh,
because I
that's like the
can't.
best part of
Till
most things.
till it. So, tutti frutti ice cream. I can't eat tutti frutti ice cream. I can't eat like
Nobody
things with
should
like
eat
ice
tutti
creams with
frutti
nuts. I
ice.
need like plain like stuff. Like I don't like stuff in anything. And in general, I don't like dry fruits. I till date I can only eat almonds. That's it. Like I can't eat any other. I hate raisins. Like I hate cashew nuts. But then I tried this. Not I tried this. I tried being vegan for a while. That's also true. But even in general, like a lot of restaurants here, once I moved to the US, like are vegan restaurants, which are actually good. So they make cheese out of cashew nuts. So like vegan cheese is
Right.
made out of cashew nuts, right? How I actually I don't. I can say. I'm thinking if I want to say this story out here, I'm just gonna say it. So anyway, so this one time at home, Asher knows, my husband, he knows that I don't like cashew nuts at all. So then he was making dinner at home and he made this like really nice paneer ki sabzi and like really nice and creamy. And I'm like, what did you put in it? And then he's like, nothing, just eat. I ate it. It was very yummy. And then my face started flaring up. And by flaring up, I mean, I had like red spots all over my face and it was itching. Like, it was itching like I have never itched before. And like, touch wood, growing up, I've never had like acne or like spots on my face. Like, touch wood, I've had a very clear face. And like, seeing those spots, I was like, what the hell is happening? And then Mr. tells me that everything else was fine. The only thing that you don't eat, what was there in the food, was cashew nuts. I mean, the gravy out of cashew nuts. So we started being a little skeptical, like maybe I'm just allergic to cashew nuts. It was like still a maybe at that time because, Indians can't be allergic to anything, of course. Yeah. And then this one day, he's my husband, Asher and I, we made out. And then right after that, I had like spots. Oh, no. And I'm just like, what the hell is happening? And then turns out he ate cashews that day. He ate cashews that day, and how nut allergies work. And this I found from like one of my friends when I was working at University of Washington. He told me he can't eat peanuts because his wife is allergic to peanuts. And when you eat nuts, the oils of the nuts like stay in your mouth or your tongue for a very long time. And like we are also allergic to like oils. So Asher ate cashews, and I'm like, oh shit, like I'm allergic to cashews. And then this one time, so then I stopped like altogether. I was still like, I knew I don't like cashews, but I started being like very cautious. But then I see this one day we went to this vegan restaurant, and they had this dip, and I ate the dip. And like my restaurant, mein baithe my face was around. I was like, oh shit.
Stay away from cashews.
Yeah, I can't. Then after that, I've been very careful. Like I always have. So and Allegra works. Like it's not that serious. Like I stop breathing or whatever, but like my face, like you can see something's happening to my face. So I always have an Allegra with me in case I come in contact with cashews or whatever. Up in December, I was going back to India, and we don't get good paneer in the US. Like it's a fact. Like it's very hard and it's very rubbery. Like it's just not nice. So on the flight, we get paneer, but like it's not nice. Paris has cheese, yeah. So I was flying back to India, and the flight to Delhi had paneer, and I got excited, and then I ordered paneer. But I can't eat Indian paneer outside now because everyone puts cashews. I flared up on the flight, like a 15-hour flight. Man. Thankfully, I had a Allegra. So everyone thought that my lie is that I'm allergic to cashew nuts, but my long story short, I am actually allergic. I can't, like, it's a bad allergy. This time, I went back home to India for my best friend's wedding. I could not eat anything at her wedding. Why? Because in India, you go out and they put cashew nuts in freaking everything. Yeah. So everyone called me the Farang who came back because I'm allergic to everything. But okay. So then I love coconut water, chutney, macaroons. I hate coconut. I can't. The only thing I can eat coconut is in Thai curry. That's the only thing. But like South Indian food, coconut oil.
How did you survive Vellore?
Vellore didn't have a lot of
coconut. Yeah. If you're in the North Indian mess, you could like have a joy.
Also, yeah, I was in the special mess and like I was fine. So like even with like I love sambar dosa, like, but unless it's made it in coconut oil, you know what the fact, like this is where I tie into Anupriya's story. Growing up, so my dad is in like the raw rubber business. So we spent a lot of time in Kerala because like a lot of his business is in Kerala. So like all of my summer vacations, like 3 months at a stretch, I've lived in Kerala. Like, just thinking now that so like, I love the people, like everything is great, but there, like even in North Indian restaurants, they would make like dal tadka with coconut oil and like sabzis with coconut oil. And like I couldn't eat them. Like I'd smell it and be like, I can't eat it. Like just the smell of coconut is what like conks me off. So like shredded coconut, toasted coconut, like a lot of people. Like I made
one of my favorite flavors.
Yeah, I love having like acai bowls, and every topping will have like some sort of coconut on it. I have to be like
toasted coconut.
Can I have the acai bowl? No coconut, please. I just can't. I don't like it. I can't have coconut water. I just can't. Just a thing. I don't even know if I taste it, I like it, but I just can't. Then the second truth was I like Hong Kong more than I like Seattle. So I lived in Hong Kong for 3 years before I moved to Seattle. I think that was, I mean, I moved away from home when I was 17. I did my high school away from home and then I went to VIT. But I think Hong Kong was truly when I was like fully adult and I was earning my own money, spending my own money, living on my own.
Yeah.
I met a lot of great people. I did a lot of fun things. Hong Kong is a great place to be in general. So I think it's a bit of nostalgia combined with, in Hong Kong. It's a big city, but also has like small city feels. So a lot of people thought I love Seattle. It's not that. So I think very few people actually got that I like.
I got it right, and I was so proud of myself because she was like, "I love coconut." I was like, "Nice, this is a lie."
So yeah, that's a little bit of a trivia about me. Okay, Subha, by default, you go next.
I don't remember exactly. What the funny part in that was, like, I had one of the options was I binge watched 3 TV shows a week, and
Yes.
I thought that
everybody
would be Subha.
Is it more or less? That's the question.
everybody who is like all my close friends, they picked either of the two, but not that option. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with everyone? Why would you think that I would watch TV so much? But yeah, I live and breathe TV, so it can be more on some weeks it's less. But yeah, and the other one was that I've traveled in 24 countries. I travel a lot. I do like to travel a lot. Yeah, and I think that that's something that comes to me from my parents. But then even here, like I cannot, I don't know, it's not even like uh, my kind of traveling is more like backpacking around, and it's just that I have this desperate need to get out of the city. I don't know why. It's just something in me. Like I just want to get out. I would go anywhere, but I want to get out. Group of friends, okay. One person, okay. Alone, okay. But I need to go. So that's how I travel a lot. And I speak 4 languages. Well, that's true. So that's the truth too. I speak English, Hindi by default, and we have a native language, Kashmiri. So there's that. And because I live in France, there's French.
Nice.
Exotic. Subha is the most exotic of all.
Whoa. We're finally over the first out of the 8 questions that we were meant to do today, guys.
I tried to keep it short. I tried to keep it short.
Yeah, it's okay. Like people should
I
know. This
know.
is us. This is what we do.
This is what we do.
This is what we. So this is
Take it or leave
this is how all of our calls happen. We have an agenda,
Yeah.
but we never get to the agenda because we have a lot of other things to talk about.
The last 5 minutes
That's
was planning out the week.
I have to leave. I have to leave. Let's
way to
finish.
go about it. Yeah.
I have to leave. I have to leave. Please, let's finish.
Okay. Question number 2. Ready for the tiebreaker sort of a situation first. So the question is, name a
Suspense. Why the suspense?
वो रुक गई क्या क्या हुआ? Oh shit.
I have a feeling she's stuck.
This is an amazing time to get
It's like those KBC
Okay,
things.
now we
like,
can
they-
see.
You're back. Okay, go ahead.
Did you guys hear the question though?
No.
Nope.
No, name
Thank God,
the
it would have been a spoiler.
Name a
everything. Name a childhood comic.
Tinkle.
childhood.
Ghetto.
Superman.
Champak.
Too late. Too late.
Anupriya. Anupriya, you go. Okay, the question
Okay,
is
cool.
related to the question. Your favorite childhood memory. Let's keep it short.
I will try. So one of my favorite childhood memories is so when I was in Delhi, my mom, dad, Masi, and I, we all lived together. And so as we are growing up, it's a typical middle class family. We have like one AC. So it was intense, dude. Like my Masi's room had a cooler, and my room didn't have anything. So I used to sleep on the floor of her room. And one of my favorite memories, this is when I'm 7, 8, okay? And one of my favorite memories is we'd turn the lights off at night. And right before I went to sleep, she'd tell me a story, okay? Like she used to be such an avid reader, and she used to read, and all of my comics that I inherited initially, with all the Tinkles and Champaks and all that, it first came from her. So I had like mint condition from 1980s or something. It was really fun. I forgot when, but yeah, really old ones. So she'd tell me a story, and then we would spend an hour casting people into that story. For example, if we made a movie out of it, what are we gonna cast this character as and this character as? And it used to be one of my favorite things to do just because it was so much fun. And I feel like a lot of my creative stimulation in those early years came from just talking to her, just by virtue of her being so well read in general. So she's also the person who introduced me to reading generally. So when I was 7, she used to take me to like Pragati Maidan, where we had those book fairs,
Yeah.
right?
Fair.
So
Yeah.
she used to take me, and we used to have two every year. I think, एक बार summer में, एक बार winter में.
Yeah.
And she used to religiously take me every time, even if my parents were super busy. Me and her would waddle our ways to Pragati Maidan, and we'd pick out books. And yeah, those are like one of my favorite memories with her and generally for my childhood. Yeah. Yay.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
cute.
I am going to now nominate Subha.
Me? uh, my favorite childhood memory. I can't pick one, honestly. And I mean, I think my house is, I don't know, at home, like, you must have seen my mom cheerleading all the way on our project. So we're more, I'm really close to my family, but we're more like friends than like, we're less of a parent-kid relation. And so, but both of them are working. So anytime that both my parents are home and and calm and chill and not frustrated with work, it would be a good memory. Sometimes when I would come back home and like one of these days my mom's also on a holiday and I don't know, and my dad's also like, okay, like forget it, I'm home. And everybody's home is something that I really, really liked as a child, to have everyone back home. Yeah.
I
Next, I give it to Sunidhi.
What is the point of being a moderator here? Like, I was going to be the last one by default and all that. Anyway, I think my favorite childhood memory was when my sister put me in the fridge. No, sorry. Um, I think a lot of my favorite memories have to do with like when it's revolving around food only. Like when I no, and it's still the case. Like all my friends here and like everywhere know that like I survive on food, and I have yeah. But
I
a
think
lot of
our
it
high
has
school, even our high school, I think Sunidhi and I have spent like half of our high school like on scooty, just
yeah.
going to like different golgappe wale pani puri places in the area.
Oh yeah.
That is all we
We
have
were
done
at a
in high
point when we used to eat a cake by ourselves. Like that is when we were like, this needs to stop.
God, I've never had a scooty.
We should get one. And the other one was around, hyperactivity. So when I was a child, I was very hyperactive. So I wanted
Not
this
now.
and that, and
when you were a
I
child.
contained
Not
myself a
now.
lot. I contained myself, my energy. My parents were kind of worried. My dad was specifically worried that she needs to channelize her energies, otherwise this is not going well, bro. but, but yeah, like
You're not hyperactive, but you might have ADHD.
what is that a butterfly? Sorry.
No, it's like you have super
uh,
anxious and super this thing and short attention span. Totally. You should look into it.
yeah, you lost me at attention span. Anyway, so I just remember this one thing that I've been a very nice child, by the way. So I was like effortless.
We like
That's the feedback I've got. Okay, that's
nice
not me.
adult also. We like you.
Okay. Thank you.
Objective.
Okay. Awkward giggles. Okay. But I only once I was just stubborn, throwing a tantrum kind of a child when I wanted roller skates, and my dad actually tried to break it down to me like, what would you do with them? Like, you will not use them after a month or so. You will die, like your interest out of it will phase out or whatever. But he still got it for me because they love me, and I was hell bent on using them. So I used to use them in my house, around my house, everywhere. So I was always on my roller skates when I was
Oh
younger,
wow.
like very little. But yeah, okay. Apurva, this time you go.
Me.
Yeah.
Mine is something like Subha's, like, um, I know I've been super close to my parents, and they've been like my friends growing up as well. So, uh, and we used to travel a lot together too. So I think there's a lot of my story is kind of similar to Subha, and we used to do at least like 2 or 3 vacations during the year. And back then, we used to travel by train, right, when we were kids. So a lot of my memories are when we used to take train rides together as a family. And my mom used to pack these. Uh, she never used to make the sandwich. She used to get like bread separately, and back then you used to get like Amul cheese cubes.
Yeah.
Oh
Those were
yeah,
my favorite. So we
mine
used
too.
to so that used to be like staple train food for breakfast. Like if it was an overnight train journey, like bread, like those Kisan ketchup ke sachets and Amul cheese cubes. Yeah,
Actually, this reminds me of my favorite memory from childhood, actually.
and that and one more was so the first time we took a Shatabdi train ride, my mom bought a donut before the train ride. And then sometime on the train, I got hungry and I'm like, I'm hungry. And my mom gave me that donut. So I thought, and I thought that for a very long time. Like, I think that bubble burst like a couple years ago, like 2, 3 years ago. She started doing that every time we used to board a Shatabdi, get me a donut. And I thought that Shatabdi used to give donuts. And then there's this one time I took a Shatabdi without my parents, and I'm there waiting for a donut to arrive.
Oh,
And
the
the
lie.
donut never came, and I'm like, Mom, they didn't give me donut on the Shatabdi today. I'm like, and my mom's like, you fool! I used to
Donut.
buy that donut.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
really nice.
it was pretty tough when that bubble
Done.
burst.
That's really nice.
Yeah, my travel memories with my family are my favorite.
But
Uh,
that's why I was saying what I
sorry,
remembered was that like my parents also travel a lot with or without me and whatever. But when we used to go to school, we were so even they have even today they have this desperate need to leave the city. So this one time, we were just like I think I was in seventh, sixth, seventh standard, and they're just like, okay, like pack some stuff and we leave for the weekend. And we're like, okay, but what do we carry? Like, because we live in the north, right? So are we going to a hill station? Are we we're going to Himachal, we're going to Jaipur, and they're like, just pack something. And then we are at the crossroad, and my dad's like, okay, where do you want to go? You know, they're like, if we go take a certain route, we go to Shimla. If we take a certain other route, we go to Jaipur. And everybody decided somehow that Shimla, I had no jacket, nothing, like freezing in Shimla. We like had to buy shop somewhere, but like, yeah, super spontaneous freaks.
That sounds awesome though.
Yeah.
Delhi is
I
amazing
didn't have
that
any
way,
of
I think.
these.
Yeah.
Like it's so
Weird like
connected. You can literally be like
Yeah.
"कहाँ जाना है?" Everywhere else you're like यहीं जाना है मतलब.
My parents are not spontaneous at all, not even now. And then I've gotten that trait from them. I can't. If I need to make a plan today, I need to know 5 days in advance. I can't do like I
I
can't
can't
even
be
get on a
spontaneous.
call. I can't even get on a call. If you tell me, Akriti, I'm calling you up, I'll be like, no, call me day after tomorrow. I can't.
I can't be spontaneous. I have a Google Drive for all my trips. Like everything is planned. But I think this is like like a polar opposite effect from them because I've seen them be so spontaneous. I'm just like, okay, this is something I'm not doing. Okay. Plan.
I'm not shivering in Shimla. I want to. Yeah. Go
Akriti.
through
Uh,
well.
Akriti.
comes to me. I have very bad memory. I can like I remember stuff that I need to remember, but as I like memories, if I come across something, maybe like you all were talking about travel and like cheese and everything, so I'll remember. Oh, I also have that. But if you ask me what your favorite childhood memory is, like I can't. So I just like overall, like I remember. So I spent a lot of my childhood with my nanny, so my mom's mom, and my mom has two sisters. And my mom got married when she was really young. So my masis were also very very young when I was born. So and right after I was born, my dad's mom, she got really sick. So my mom, since she was so young herself, she could either take care of me or she could take care of Dadi. So she sent me to Nani's place. So that just stuck. Like I came back, of course, like I came back after a while, but I have spent a majority of my childhood with my masis and my nannies. In fact, I don't remember, of course, but they tell me that I started walking at nanny's place. And I'm still very close to my masis. I'm extremely close to my nanny finds out gossip about me before anyone else does. Like, you know, all my friends are very confused as to how are you like Ashir ke bare mein. My nanny was the first person who found out. I called her up and I'm like, okay, there is someone. And she's like, oh. And then my parents found out much later that Ashir existed or like something was there. And
Grandparents have
even in
really good secrets.
yeah. In terms of memories, I think I don't know. That was that, and then we traveled. My mom loves traveling. My dad hates traveling. Like even today, and you know, like so my mom doesn't work, but my dad also has a business. So it's not like he has to give notice to anyone. I think if he has to leave, he can leave, and he also can work. Like my dad came to the US last year. He worked the entire month and a half he was here because like the businessman work can run on the phone whatever, but he doesn't travel. Like he's just like just doesn't like it. So growing up our trips were to Shimla, to all of these like nitty gritty hill stations near Jalandhar, so like all 6 hour 7 hour road trips, or we would do Delhi for shopping. Like those were our trips ki Papa loved going to Delhi. चलिए घर की shopping करके आते हैं. चल कपड़े Jalandhar didn't have a lot, so all of our shopping used to happen in चल shopping करने चलते हैं. That used to be our trip. I remember those. Like those road trips were cool. Um, I don't remember too much. I feel very bad now. I don't
You look
have
like
any
you told
memories.
something.
Yes, that was very
Photo.
They're all
Yeah.
memories. What you
yeah.
just said, they're all memories.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I don't have like a specific memory. I don't have like a specific. Yeah, I don't have like a specific
That only means you
favorite
have a lot of
memory.
good memories.
Right.
Exactly.
It was so hard for me also to pick.
Very
Oh, you guys
weird
are so
question.
nice. You guys always make me feel so
Very
good.
difficult question.
Yeah, it's a big question.
Okay, I'm done. Then I have
Next
lots of memories.
question.
Okay. The
Drrr.
next
Now we
question
have to
you
go
ask
like
me.
one statements, guys. Everybody's had enough of yours. This is going beyond
So I'm
one
just
hour
waking up, yaar.
now. We'll do another live session next weekend for this. Okay. So the tiebreaker is name an island.
Island.
Andaman Island.
Andaman.
Who went
Who
last?
went last?
Apurva.
Not me.
I didn't
Not
see her say
me.
anything.
I said Bahamas.
It
Oh,
was
okay.
either Apurva or Akriti.
Whoever wants to go
Okay,
first this
fine.
time,
I
let's
can go.
do
What is it? Hit me.
it. Like, get done
I
with
was
it.
like, I'm done, Karo, yeah.
Do this.
The question is, first thing you'll do once the lockdown and lockdown is over for a lot of us, but like not for you guys. But you know, once the travel restrictions are done with, and what will be the first thing you'll
Yeah,
do?
there's like a ton of travel plans that got canned this year. So it might not be the first. So a lot of travel is supposed to be done. It was supposed to be, it's my dad's 60th birthday this year, and we were supposed to take a trip to Croatia. I don't think that's happening anymore. But okay, so the immediate thing I see myself doing is I had this ritual with myself. I used to go by myself to at least one music gig in the area every month. So that's something I'll probably get back to once this is done. Like I
Sounds
go
really
by
cool.
myself, but I need to go to one music gig every month.
Sounds really
It's
cool.
awesome.
Uh, I nominate Akriti because she is distracting.
You snooze, you lose.
I am listening. I'm listening. I'm getting coffee. Too
And
early.
nominate you. Go.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that the travel restrictions. I don't know actually if it's gonna happen. I wanted, so I've been studying. I'm a master's student here, and I've been studying for the last 2.5 years. I haven't graduated. I graduated in December. So before coronavirus started, my big plan was to do like a big month-long graduation trip in January 2021. It was supposed to be me and my husband, and then we were going to call both of our parents for some part of the trip and do like a big full family trip together because we haven't done that yet. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen. So I
No,
think
2021 might.
my plan is for when the vaccination comes out. So as soon as the vaccination is out and all of us are vaccinated, we're gonna do that graduation trip or like a big full combined family trip.
Did
That's
you
the
have a destination in mind?
I really wanted to do Italy, but now I'm learning Spanish, so I want to do Spain. And I'm not the person who wants to do like a Euro trip for a month. I want to do like one place, like stay there for 3 days, then go to the next city, stay there for 3 days. I want to do like a living there situation. So it'll be like one country, but like a long trip.
That's much better. That's the way.
So I think now that I'm learning Spanish, thank you, Money Heist, I want to do Spain.
Yeah, that's an amazing place to do a month-long trip.
Yeah.
I did
Okay, I
like 2 days there and I didn't think it was enough.
Okay, I nominate Sunidhi. I think Sunidhi is always number 3.
She's always
put her in the middle. Yeah. I was listening.
It's it's actually surprising how all of us, I think most of us would have thought that, travel is something that you didn't pay that. I did not pay a lot of weightage on it over the years. Like I've this trip planned with Subha, Nimisha, I have another friend and my sister, our girls trip, which never happened. So I think I'll put in more efforts to make that work. Subha, sorry. And we also, I also had one of my friends here, I had written on her vision board, being intruding as I am, that we'll go to Iceland in June 2020, which is like right now. I'm mentally in Faroe Islands or something, somewhere there. So I think I'll take travel more seriously than just bookmarking pages on Instagram and being more active about it. Anupriya.
Get married. I'm kidding.
You win. You win this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding though. The thing I really wanted to do this year was Sam's 30th birthday, and for this year we had planned that we ring in the big 30 in Iceland and go see the aurora lights, and it was supposed to be like this big, lovely thing, which went down the train. So that's fun. But hopefully, I think the first thing I would like to do once we're vaccinated, like you said, is every year me and him do this like annual pilgrimage to New York. It's our favorite city. And I feel like, yeah, my body is just aching right now and it needs a little bit of New York energy. So
Me
hopefully
too.
in
I
due
did go
time.
through that phase during lockdown as well. And it was
Yeah.
from New York. I didn't say I want to travel. I was like, New York hi jana hai. It's just like,
Yeah.
Plus one, guys.
There's
Plus one.
something about the city.
Plus
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So hopefully once all of this is over and New York has healed and feels better, we'll make a trip to New York.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be in New York for the summer and I'm not excited.
Soon we'll all go together. Okay,
How easy will that be? Anyway, Subha, go.
Okay. Who?
You. You're the left one there. Pay attention.
I'm actually already doing what I would have done after lockdown, except not travel, but I don't feel good about traveling. Everything is open here, even the borders and etc. etc. I don't feel good about traveling right now. But yeah, the one thing on my list is that got canned this year is going to New York. So I was pretty adamant that okay, 2020 definitely I'm going to New York.
It sounds like we are due one TPP New York trip. So he's gonna make her way all the way to America and we're gonna
go. 24 hours, bro. Sorry. Can't do. I took a flight to the UK.
I'm sort of a person, like, okay, I've decided I have to do this, I have to go, I will go.
Yeah,
I
will exactly.
Go. So it hurts that it didn't work out. But it's okay. 2021.
COVID.
One of the things that I think we've all learned is that, not taking it for granted that we do have the resources to make things work. So let's just do it now. This is the time is now kind of a situation. I think I've taken that for granted for a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I kept feeling like we can go.
Nobody listens to me. That's the problem. I've been telling a lot of hair advice to Apurva, never listened. After 3 years, she says the same thing. I've been begging Sunidhi to take more trips. Never listen. And now she's like, we have learned, Okay.
Okay, is my hair okay now, Subha? Or
do you approve? Okay. Last
Okay.
question, because we have to wrap up, guys. Nobody is going to hear us talk for more than an hour. We are overestimating our capabilities here. So,
We have fun. We have
uh,
fun.
true, but apart from the apart from the five of us, I think a lot of other people might not think so. But last question: name a breed of a dog.
Rottweiler.
Pomerian.
Dalmatian.
Subha, you last. Subha, you last. Subha, you lose.
When you said breed, I was like, I just hope she doesn't say cat.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know any other breeds other than dog. I just know dog breeds.
Yeah.
Last question for all of us today is: what is your relationship with social media? We're not going private talk today. What is your relationship with social
Heavy
media?
post on.
My relationship with social media is very selfish. I go online, I post my stuff, I go offline.
I love that answer.
I never,
Someone's living the dream.
rarely ever will I like see all my stories or go through all my posts. I'm just like, I'm very active. So when I say I'm very active on social media, I'm active for me. I don't know what's happening in the world. I go upload out.
Nice.
But I have the obsessive compulsive need to also upload. So
Yeah,
me and social media are pretty tight.
I like that. I approve.
Yep.
Akriti, same. I have a very similar relationship. Yeah, I post a lot. I have the obsessive need to post stories. I don't post, like, I think the only social media, to be honest, that I use now is Instagram. I don't use Facebook. I don't use Snapchat, like, nothing else. Like, I only use Instagram. But I have to post stories. I have no idea why, but like, it's just there. And but I don't like track it. Like, I don't see how many people see it.
Yeah.
If someone, you'll notice that, if you message me on Instagram, I will reply after some time, and I keep getting that. Oh, you're putting stories, but you're not replying. I'm like, I post and then I get off. I post and then I get off. And then even with like liking others' photos, like if I want to stalk someone, one day I will go stalk you and like all of your photos because I'm stalking you. But like, I'm not going to scroll through my feed and like see kisne kya post kiya. I'm not that. Even with comments, now that I've started being like more active and my profile's like open and everything, I do get some comments. Like, I wouldn't say hate comments, they're not hate comments, but like a lot of unnecessary opinions from people that I don't know and don't care about, and they'll keep sending those in. I ignore. I They don't hurt me. I don't feel bad. I see them. I say thank you if I know the person. If I don't know the person, I will don't even I will not even reply.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I touch wood, like till now at least, like I don't have what you call like a toxic relationship with social media. I go, I have fun, I post what I want to post,
Yeah.
and then I get
Nice.
I forget, but that is an issue I have with replying in general, with
Yes,
comments
you
and
do.
everything. I take forever to reply, or like I genuinely have that syndrome where I see it, I have replied it, but
Subha
to
replies to
actually
me, Sunidhi. Sunidhi,
This
तुझे
is
पता है? Subha
this
replies
is
to me.
you know what? This
Wait,
is the maximum I've
princess
ever
Subha,
talked to
like,
Subha in the last 10 years I've known her. Like,
yeah,
thanks to TPP, I got my friend back.
exactly. Same. Like,
Hashtag
until
win.
this TPP started, Subha, I don't remember Subha replying. This is very new to me. Like
Yeah,
now,
this
this
is
is
the new Subha.
the hangout
I'm
talking.
getting worried. Like, when
Like
it all
what?
goes back to normal, Subha, I won't be able to cope. I'm so used to having her
I'm working
reply on
on
time
it.
now.
Okay,
I'm
Sunidhi,
working on
next.
it.
You will be like, quarantine made me do it.
Sunidhi,
Hey, keeping the chain alive. 333.
Yeah, come on. I
you
don't
number
have
three always. We can't break it on the last question.
Haan,
You
That's
last
have
true.
to
question.
answer.
again. So my relationship with social media has been very non-existent. Like, I think two people who know me here, I think most of you now also know this, but this whole TPP Instagram game is like ridiculously new field, another adventure for me. That's what my shirt says. I did not plan this, but yeah, it's kind of deep.
Sunidhi is
But
polar opposite to Akriti and me. She knows what you're doing, but you will never know what she's doing.
but like, I don't usually post a lot of what I'm doing, true, but I also don't keep a track of what
A
everybody
lot?
else sees.
Never.
I
we used to joke about how Sunidhi never posts a picture of her face on her own profile. We're like, dude, post your own pictures. What's happening?
So
will not
when you
find
had
my
to
pictures anywhere.
when you had to go live on like TPP the first time, like Anupriya and I were talking that time, and like she was so proud. She's like, I'm so proud that she's going live. Like she's put a photo and now she's going to go live. And when your live didn't get saved, she was so bummed. She's like, I wanted her live. She's like, Baki sabka theek hai, but like she went live. Her live should have gotten saved. And I was like, that's how I found out your relationship with social media. Like she
I'm
told me.
jinxed only. I till date don't have a picture on WhatsApp, and people just say like, "Are you depressed?" and things like this to me. Like, no, that's how
I thought
am.
you've just not saved my number.
See, this is what people think of me. This is more believable than not having a picture in the first place. So, no, I have saved your number, Akriti. I have everybody's number saved. I just don't put a picture. I post like once in a blue moon.
I never understood. This actually changed. She was not that anti-social media in high school or beginning. All of a sudden, I think in college, like a
Not college,
switch.
even in school. I think I just
Late
thought
high
I'm.
school.
Yeah, I
12th,
think
11th,
I just
right?
realized that with all due respect to everybody out there who put a like on the social media influencers in general, not us, like we're not there yet, but it's a lot of hard work. I've realized that now, but at that point in time,
Yeah.
at that point in time, I just used to think that it's going to burn the kind of energy that I have to like sitting in front of a screen. It's just never been my thing. And when I started to do it quite often, like Facebook and stuff, like spending an hour, 2 hours, and when you're studying for like becoming an engineer or doing something fancy, you just don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
kind of started from there. But eventually, I thought, okay, if somebody already knows me, why would they want to look at my face? That is my logic. Okay, so they'll be more interested in things
That's why
around.
they want
So,
to look at your face.
yeah, I don't understand that, but okay, I get it now a little. It just doesn't work like that in my head. But okay, Anupriya, you're next.
My relationship with social media has evolved quite a bit. When, to be honest, up until even maybe 2 3 years ago, I used to have the kind of relationship where social media only gave me FOMO. It was really bad to the point where I considered quitting many times and used to go away for like a month and then come back. But I think over the past 3 years, I've put in enough work on, like Akriti, I'm also most active on Instagram. I don't think I even open a lot more social medias, but I've curated my feed in a way where I don't get spammed by like people traveling or, doing things that might give me FOMO, and it might sound stupid, but like I avoid those triggers completely.
Oh, that's smart.
Now,
Yeah,
mostly.
that's very smart.
Now mostly my feed is full of people who inspire me. So every morning, even when I'm scrolling through stuff, it's mostly creators who I really like, who are posting content that genuinely excites me and stuff like that. So it's been really nice for like local artists that I support, museums that I really like, stuff like that. So
Music.
it music, exactly. It's been really transformative. I think I've finally come to a point where social media has become a positive experience for me, and I feel like it's adding to my life rather than taking away from it. So
Yeah.
other than that, I also feel the compulsive need to post a lot of stories, as you guys might have seen. But
I
that is
always
because
feel
I've been
social
oversharing.
I'm getting
but
on
you're
that
right.
wagon, by the way. I'm trying.
No,
People have started unfollowing me. They're like, wow, what is wrong with us?
but Anupriya is
Oh,
right. I mean, if you use social media correctly, it only adds. I
Yeah.
mean, it
right.
cannot be, you cannot say that social media is bad. If you just need to know how to use it in the
Right.
best
And
way.
for the longest time, I used to feel bad about um, even maybe, and I feel like social media is not a true reflection of our relationships with someone, right? Even if someone, I'm more than okay with someone unfollowing me, even if they're very good friends with me, if something I do is triggering them, because at the end of the day, your mental health is your priority, right? So you scroll, and if something's bugging you, why not just not see it?
Yeah.
So that's one thing I don't care about at all anymore. I used to, and I remember there were times when I used to maybe unfollow people because of this very reason, and they used to get super mad at me. But then I explained, see, देखो ऐसे हो रहा है. So we're friends, we love each other, but this is different. So.
But ciao.
But ciao. Okay, अब कोई बात.
Yeah, same here. Like, I've never used any form of social media obsessively. And even at this point, I'm not on Facebook or Snapchat. I'm only on Instagram. And I think even Instagram, like 2 years back when I was in grad school in Iowa. I think that was just like a I did have like anxiety and depression back then. So in general, it was a very depressing time. So back then, I can relate to when Anupriya said FOMO. Back then, I used to be like, why does everybody look so happy and why is my life sucking? So back then, I did some transformation of my own Instagram to like remove some and get more, like she said, creative influence on my feed. Like now I follow a lot of artists, illustrators, then like quirky travel, not travel. Actually, one of my favorite pages is this thing called the Daily Overview. If any of you follow that page,
I've seen it,
it's
like not
like
follow, do
a
not follow it, but yeah.
yeah, it's like a sky view of different places. So I think
Yeah.
it's like a drone view or something like that. So you get to see like a huge space of land in one tiny picture. Yeah, so things like that. And I just use it to, yeah, post just my stuff. But I'm more posts than stories, I think. And even in posts, it's not so much my face. It's more my art or places I visited. It's more like a timeline that I like to keep. And I do genuinely go back and see what I was up to a few years back. I like doing that sometimes when I'm low.
Well, life always looks good on Instagram.
Yeah, and I mean,
Photo.
even if it was a bad phase, like even if I went back to pictures I put on Instagram when I was in Iowa, which was like mentally a very rough time, it does show me like good memories from that time. So yeah, I kind of like that.
Life goes a full circle. And that's a very good note for us to like kind of wrap up on.
You just want to go to bed.
It's an ungodly hour for, but no,
You
I'm
just
like
want
on a
to.
serious note, it's just like with the whole initiative that was initially Subha's idea and how we all came together and what we transformed, we all continuously are trying to transform it into this platform wherein everybody can come and share these things. I mean, at the heart of it, this is what it is. And I think that is this is the best way for it to come out unfiltered, unscripted, trying to moderate it, but straight from the heart
Not gonna
because
happen.
Yeah.
humbug. But that is what makes it real, and that is what makes it, I think, relatable. Because if I think about it, not being a very social media active person, I wouldn't want to go on there if there's nothing fruitful coming out of it, or if something positive is not coming out of it, I wouldn't want to watch it. So
Yeah.
that was what was my in my head when I was trying to be a part of this. That want to do
Yeah.
something that can be a little, some just create some kind of a
Really
change
like it,
in a
yeah.
positive direction.
So
And
like
I
the
just
person.
want you all to
Sorry,
say
no, I was
say
talking to
whatever you have to on this.
You can't moderate the moderator.
yeah, I dare not.
No, like yeah, I was just saying, just want you all to just put it in your words what you um want, what you see TPP as, and what is
So
in your
much
head
pressure,
moving forward.
Suniti.
What do you see in the future? Yeah, but Apurva, please go. You were saying
Yeah,
something.
I think it's something we started in quarantine, but it's been one of the most fulfilling experiences that I've had in a long, long time. Like just last week, when I interviewed Sapeksh, and it was just so nice that I get to learn so much about what so many other people are doing, and you never really give too much thought to a lot of these things, but I'm learning so much in the process. I'm really loving that. And even outside um, quarantine, I would love to keep that going.
Yeah, I think it's
I still
been.
need to nominate.
Oh, you have to
Subha.
nominate. Okay, good. No, it's fine, guys. We can break this chain now. The moderation is done. It's almost over. Okay, Anupriya, you were saying. Yeah, I think it's been, like Apurva said, it's been a really nice opportunity to get to know about so much different things that people are doing. It's at the core of it, I think it's a knowledge platform, right? Like I really do, even though I'm one of the creators, I feel like I take a lot from it as well. I'm learning a lot from it every week, be it through guests, be it through all of you guys. I feel like I'm picking up new social media skills, dude, which is like incredible.
So put your YouTube on mute.
Oh, someone has said it. Mine's okay. Cool. So anyway, it's been just generally very exciting and nice, and I think it's become from something where we were just trying to figure each other out and the platform out to something we look forward to every week. So it's kind of nice. We're truly global. Like someone said this to me a couple of weeks ago that you guys are truly global. You're like all across the globe, and we're making this work, and it makes me so proud. It makes me so happy. But yeah, I'm generally just most grateful to have met all of you guys through it too. Like I already knew Sunidhi and Subha, but both of you as well. I'm so glad I met people who, we have so much, common interest, but also I feel like I learn a lot from each one of you. So thank you for that.
I think I have very similar thoughts on this. Like, besides the fact that, it started off as us wanting to share what it is, and now it growing into, us, like, even other people. I feel like I get very excited when other people message, oh, can I be on TPP? Can I go and do a
Yeah.
talk? Are you taking guests? I think that makes me really happy that people actually see the value in what we are doing, and, they want to contribute. And I think that's the whole point of this. But other than that, I'll put very simply, there is nobody else I have ever woken up at 6:15 for on a Saturday morning. For work during the week, sometimes yes. On the weekend at 6:15 a.m., no. That is not happening. It was an effort. Like I woke up and I came out. So it's been nice. And I knew Subhana Purva, like I said, but we were not like friends. Like now I will call all of us like friends. Like we sit and we chit chat and we talk all the nonsense there is in the world, and also like do good work at the end of the day. But even Subha, like Apurva, I've met once. Subha, like I used to meet her in college, and we stalked each other on social media, but we like never, but we didn't like talk. And now like it's a completely different ball game altogether. So I think it's been fun. I think quarantine, there was something to look forward to every week with our calls and the content and everything. So yeah, it's been great. And yes, I have picked up some social. I didn't think I could pick up any more social media skills, but I'm a new
I
change.
say I started from the bottom. I did not know how to edit my bio on Instagram, guys. That's where I was. But it's
Yes, I
been great,
remember.
I think. And on that note, I think we should really stop talking.
Okay,
We
Subha, wrap it
talked
up.
a lot.
Subha,
Yeah.
wrap it up for us.
Yes, please do.
I think everybody summarized it perfectly. And it's just that we're all here for the positive vibes that we bring to each other. I mean, in each other's lives, and like constant cheerleading and supporting each other through not just this, but even outside this. And I mean, I think what motivates us the most is also all the comments and the feedback that we constantly keep getting, that okay, like this is right, that is right, this is amazing, or like the engagement, the kind of involvement that people give us, and that always reminds us that like, yeah, we're kind of doing something great and we're kind of making a difference. And I hope we keep doing that moving forward.
And we need to thank everybody who has taken the time out to, just be
Yes,
there.
just even if you go there for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, just thank you for doing that. And thank you for the positive vibes. You too.
So yeah, great chat, guys. We're done. And we
Okay,
stop sharing now.
I'm gonna end the streaming. Just everyone say bye one last time.
Bye.